is New Orleans, home of Louisiana Voodoo. I'm here because I'm interested in whether powerful beliefs can actually change our bodies, our physiology. And Voodoo is famous for its ability to heal and to hex. I want to know, can a belief really heal or kill? And where better to start than a graveyard, where I'm meeting Dr. Clifton Medaw. I'm looking forward to hearing your story.
Yeah.
Now, this intriguing case was seen by his first boss, a Dr. Doherty.
In 1938, he was approached by this family, a black family, with this man who'd lost about 40 pounds in weight and was near death. He thought he had tuberculosis or cancer that he couldn't find. The wife approached Dr. Doherty and said, I really am terrified to tell you, but Vance has been hexed to death by the voodoo witch doctor. So Dr. Doherty thought, came in the next day, and he said, Vance, I got the witch doctor in the cemetery last night, and I choked him until he told me the truth. He rubbed some lizard eggs on your stomach. There's a lizard down there eating your insides up. I'm gonna get that lizard out of you. So he drew a syringe of apple morphine, which makes you vomit. Vance vomited and vomited and vomited. And just as he was ending the vomiting, he pulled out of his bag a lizard. Vance, his eyes went wide. He fell back in the bed in a swoon, and he recovered and lived another 15 years.
So is there any convincing explanation? But before I get to the science, which I promise you is every bit as amazing, I'd like to know more about New Orleans voodoo. I mean, does it even still have curses? To be honest, most of my knowledge comes from crappy old films, and I suspect modern voodoo isn't really like that. Which is why I've come to visit the Voodoo Museum. Yeah, it's through here?
Okay. And right here, this room's about...
Okay. Wow, look at this room. My first big surprise is that modern voodoo has hybridised with Catholicism. The spirits and saints are interchangeable.
Yeah, in voodoo they believe in God, but they believe that God is retired. And he has delegated to the spirits his old job. I mean, from now on, they're the ones that have to listen to prayers. They're the ones that have to perform miracles. Hence, the spirits are the primary focus in what they call voodoo.
And this hybridised religion has some brilliant modern twists. Take the Bone and Skull Men, available to parents on request.
They show up, usually on Mardi Gras morning, and go through a ritual whereby they basically terrorize children. And when they do, they tell them, listen to your parents, stay in school, don't take drugs, scare kids straight.
What a great service. But you can see how the kids could grow up with some pretty powerful beliefs. Meanwhile, I've got a request I'd like to make. And for that, I need someone who can petition the spirits on my behalf. A voodoo priestess. So, you're a practitioner. If I want a man to fall in love with me, do I come to you?
Yes.
So we begin with a fertility dance, which apparently I'm required to join. And it just gets better. Before I know it, we've made a gree-gree bag.
May I break the branches as your soul may I break?
And I've got myself one of these.
Don't let a man touch this unless you want to give yourself to him.
So this can keep a man interested as well.
Yes.
Yes, okay, this could come in handy.
Thank you. Be careful. It also makes you fertile too.
Okay. All right, I take that caution on board. But while on my cultural tour, I find plenty of people to talk about the good side of voodoo.
Ready.
Everyone clams up when I ask about hexes.
Do you have people coming to you who've been cursed?
Had one last night.
Had one last night? Mm-hmm. Can you describe anything about it anonymously? No.
The witch doctor is shunned.
And they're still working in modern times?
Yeah, I'm aware of at least one here in the city.
So is it all just superstition and coincidence? Or does something real happen when strong beliefs take hold? Personally, I've always believed the coincidence explanation. But just outside Detroit, a truly fabulous piece of research is forcing me to reconsider. Now, you may have heard of the placebo effect, where something inactive has a powerful effect on your health because you believe it's active. But have you heard of its evil twin, the nocebo effect?
It's basically the opposite effect.
Not long ago, Dr. Zubietta was running a standard placebo pain test. They injected extra salty water into a cheek muscle.
It's like a toothache, like a dull toothache.
And told people they may receive a pain reliever, when in fact, all they got basically was water. Most experienced the placebo effect and their pain decreased. But to the doctor's astonishment, 15% got worse. They suffered the nocebo effect. And this is where the science becomes truly amazing, because they then took these people, injected a tagging dye, and observed the release of natural endorphins, opioids, in their brains.
The individuals that had the placebo effect released more of these opioids, and the individuals that had the nocebo effect reduced the release.
So these thought processes actually boosted up or dropped down the opiates
In your brain.
produced in the brain.
Absolutely.
That's extraordinary.
Nothing like this has ever been shown before. No wonder Dr. Zubietta is excited.
So how powerful is this nocebo effect?
It's as powerful as the placebo effect. It can be equivalent to as much as 10 or more milligrams of morphine,
Morphine?
in most studies.
That's incredibly powerful.
Yes.
I think if you are told something by someone who has the authority, whether it's a witch doctor or physician, and you take that in, then I think your entire physiology starts to play around that belief.
Now, there is a flip side to this, and that is that belief in belief can also cause harm. If you've got an incurable disease like cancer, studies have shown that positive thinking can make no difference to the outcome. But if you believe you're getting sicker because you're not positive enough, well, that's just stress you really don't need.
Having said that, I, for one, certainly have a renewed respect for the power of our thoughts. Don't think a Western education will spare you the spell of the witch doctor.